Remember your 20s? That was the glorious garage startup era of your life. You had passion, you had ambition, you were willing to work 100 hours a week, you lived on instant noodles and big dreams. You tried, you failed, you got back up and learned. The whole world felt like it was yours for the taking. But then you hit your 30s. Congratulations, your startup just closed its Series A funding round. Things look a lot better on the surface. Revenue, which is your salary, has gone up. You have a small team of your own, maybe a wife, a couple of kids. The pressure from your investors' society, your family, your in-laws, is mounting. On paper, on social media, everything looks fine. Your friends look at you and think, wow, this guy's made it. But only you, the CEO, know the truth. Only you know that the operating costs are ballooning out of control. The cash flow is inconsistent, at best. And the worst part, you're not even sure where this ship is headed anymore. This is the decade where we all pretend we've got it figured out. But the truth? A lot of life startups go quietly bankrupt during this phase. Not because they run out of capital, but because they lack a clear strategy. They lose their direction. So how do you know if your startup is veering off course? Let's take a look at your business report and see which of the following warning signs you might be facing. Sign 1. Your cash flow is negative and you have no idea why. You're making money, and it's not a small amount, but you can't answer the question, where did all my money go last month? A company without financial reports or proper tracking is a company heading straight for bankruptcy. Your life is no different. Sign 2. You're using marketing and entertainment expenses to make up for a lack of company culture. In simple terms, you're spending money to fill an emotional void. Lavish vacations, the latest gadgets, fine dining. They bring short-term joy, sure. But when you return home, the exhaustion and emptiness are still there, unchanged. Sign 3. You keep delaying the build-out of your legal and risk management foundation. These are the things that sound boring, but they're the marks of a mature man. A life insurance policy, a long-term retirement plan, a written will, and investments that follow a strategy. You always tell yourself, I'll handle that later, because dealing with today's problems already feels overwhelming. Sign 4. An internal communication crisis. You're afraid to talk about money with your life partner, the one who's supposed to be your co-founder. Every time the topic of finances comes up, it turns into a fight, a defense mechanism. So you avoid it. But how can a startup grow if its two founders can't sit down and have an honest conversation about money? Sign 5. You have no vision for the next 5 years. Your plan only stretches to the weekend or worse, just until the end of today. Each day feels like a battle for survival, not a deliberate step toward building an empire. If you see yourself in 3, 4, or even all 5 of these signs, don't panic. You're not alone. Millions of men are in the exact same boat. But here's the good news. As the CEO of your life, you have the full authority to restructure your entire business. And here are 5 strategic decisions you need to start making, starting today. 1. Conduct a full financial audit. When a new CEO takes over a struggling company, what's the first thing they do? Audit. You need to do the same. Clean up your financial house. Use an app, an Excel sheet, or even a simple notebook. Track every single dollar you earn and spend for the next 30 days. You must know exactly where your money is going. This is the most painful but essential step to regain control. Once you've gathered the data, automate everything. Set up automatic transfers the day you get paid. One portion into savings, another into investments. Let the system work for you. 2. Build an immunity system against lifestyle inflation. In business, this is called controlling operational expenses. When revenue increases, a bad CEO rushes to upgrade the office and buy luxury cars for the leadership team. A great CEO reinvests most of the profits into R&D, research and development, for long-term growth. Every time you get a raise or a bonus, apply the 50-30-20 rule. 50% goes to reinvestment, increasing savings, investments. 30% to lifestyle upgrades. 20% to debt payments or other goals. Before buying something expensive, ask yourself, is this purchase feeding the future version of me I want to become? 3. Build your emergency fund and insurance plan. In business, this is called capital reserves and insurance. No smart company runs without them. Your emergency fund, equal to 6 to 12 months of living expenses, is your safety cushion. It ensures that an unexpected shock, like job loss, car trouble, or a health issue, won't collapse the empire you're building. Health insurance and life insurance are not expenses. They are investments in the long-term stability of your company. 4. Schedule a monthly board meeting. This is your money meeting with yourself, and more importantly, with your life partner if you're married. Pick a fixed time, 1 hour, once a month. Not when you're tired, and not in the middle of a fight. This is a strategic meeting. Review your financial report together, celebrate small wins, and adjust your plan for the upcoming month. This is when you both act as owners and partners, not people avoiding problems. 5. Draft your 5-year and 10-year strategic vision. Apple doesn't just plan for the next iPhone. They have a product roadmap that spans a decade. Your bucket list is that roadmap, but don't just write vague dreams. Turn them into a business plan. Buy a house? Where is that house? How much does it cost? How much of a down payment do you need? And how much must you save each month to reach it? Send your child to a private school? What is the annual tuition? When should you start preparing? How can you help your parents enjoy their retirement? When should you upgrade their health insurance? Every goal needs a number attached to it and a clear timeline. Then break it down into yearly and monthly targets. No strategy, no matter how brilliant, means anything if you don't execute it. You already know what you need to do. Now it's time to take action like a true CEO of your life. Don't let your 30 seconds be the decade where you're just struggling to survive. Make it the decade where you lay down the most solid foundation for a life worth living. You don't need to do everything perfectly, right away. No CEO turns a company around overnight, but you do need to start. Start with one small executive decision this week. Choose one thing from the 5 I just shared. Just one, and do it seriously. Maybe it's tracking your expenses or scheduling your first board meeting. Next week, choose the next one. And a year from now, you'll be amazed at how far you've come. Now, it's time to make your first executive decision. Comment below on the one thing you commit to changing this week. Don't just keep it in your head, write it down. That's the first step in turning an intention into real action. And if this video spoke to you, if it touched on something you've been struggling with, hit like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who's also trying to find direction. Thanks for watching.